Hey everybody, it's your boy Josaki, back with another video, you guys. Okay, today I'm going to do a Goosebumps book review of the book that I do have. I just don't know what it's exactly. It's my favorite, it's actually my all-time favorite Goosebumps book. It's called Cuckoo Clock of Doom. And basically what it's about is Cuckoo Clock of Doom is this boy named Michael Whiskerson or Watterson or whatever his last name is. It's Michael first name, okay? And he has a sister named Tara, and his sister is so rude and mean to him, and borderline a B word, by the way, borderline B word. She scratched his bike. She calls him a jerk. Something in between, which means jerk and something else. I forgot what she calls him or something like that exactly. She calls him really mean names, and he's not that bad of a guy actually. The kid. He's a nice guy. It's just his sister is a real bitch. Her name, by the way, his nickname is for his Tara the Terrible. And it always, like, so basically he goes up to his 12th birthday, and a girl he likes named Mona something, I think Davidson or Donaldson or whatever it is. Dennison, I think Mona Dennison, is the girl he likes. And it's basically from the day of his 12th birthday, shit goes to the fan. His sister scratches his bike. She opens all her presents, his presents, before he gets to, and claiming that the gift that Mona got him was all love songs. Mona, and she tells Mona that he has a crush on her, and a bunch of other things. And then when it's time for his gift, he has to carry his cake into the party. And when it's time for her to give a cake, she trips him and makes the cake, and he falls flat on his face into the cake. Again, a real bitch. There are things you don't do to someone on their birthday, and that's pretty much one of them. Anyways, back to it. So, skip ahead 3 days, and his father brings in a cuckoo clock, an antique cuckoo clock from an antique store, Anthony's antique store, that they've wanted for their entire time. As a kid, he's been wanting to buy it ever since he was, a little kid. His dad, or not his dad, but ever since his dad saw the clock, he's been saving up to buy it for so many years, and finally was able to buy it. The thing is, there's something wrong with the clock. There's like a flaw in it, but the story goes that it was made by a sorcerer, and if you can figure out the secret, it can allow someone to travel back in time. So, one night while he's doing something, he overhears Tara getting yelled at by his dad, by that she was playing with the clock, and that if she breaks it or something happens to the clock, she's in big trouble. So he's gonna think, I'm gonna get back at Tara for all the things she's done at me by getting her in trouble this one time. Because all the things she does to him, she never gets in trouble for. They always take her side. Because, she's the little girl, she doesn't know any better. She's just a little kid, being a little kid. If I was that kid, if I was Michael, I would basically be like my parents. Okay, there's a difference between a little kid and being a bitch or being an ass. And your daughter's my sister's being an ass. You need to stop this. You need to put your foot down. Anyways, back to the video. And what was I gonna say? Back to the thing. So yeah, so she basically goes in the middle of the night at midnight when the cuckoo bird comes out of the clock and comes to the bird and twists the head around on the bird. Then the bird goes back in. Then he wakes up. He goes back to sleep. Wakes up the next morning and he's back at his 12th birthday. Things always go. It goes the same way. Tara fucks everything up. Same thing. And then he goes back to sleep. Wakes up and he's back into the 3rd grade or something like that. I don't know what. I think the 3rd grade. And stuff like that. Or 3rd or 4th grade. I don't know exactly what grade he's. Oh, 5th grade. 5th grade. He wakes back up in the 5th grade. And she has to do his player thing, and he gets caught with his underwear by girls. And then Tara does some other shit, and he learns what the life was like without Tara in the good old days, because, Tara's a bitch. But he doesn't remember anything up until he was 5 years old. And then After that, he goes back to the third grade. Shit goes down, and I don't remember what happens in the third grade exactly. So he goes to the second grade, and again, this is all, he has all the memory of a 12-year-old. So his brain is a 12-year-old's brain, but he's going back to aging. So because he's going back in time. Finally, he goes back to his pre-K slash pre-K at 5 years old. Then he goes back to sleep one more day, and he goes to 4 years old, and he's in nursery school, and he climbs a tree, and they're all calling, "Oh, you're scared!" And he's yelling at them like again, a 12-year-old saying, "I'm climbing the tree. I'm not scared." Then he breaks his arm like he did in nursery school. By the way, the thing he realizes is everything is going backwards. So, like, people are speaking backwards. So, like, when Tara calls him a moron, she calls him Norman. Because it's in backwards, remember? Or Noron, or I don't know how to say it backwards. I can't even say it back to myself. People are speaking backwards. People are times going backwards, so it's a little weird. And then, finally, he reaches first... basically being a baby, and it doesn't explain how old he was as a baby. It just says he's a baby. So he goes, he gets his diaper changed and shit because he's in the diaper and shit. And then his mom tells him as a baby that he's going, remember, he still has a 12-year-old's brain, so it must be very torturous to be treated like a baby as your 12-year-old's brain inside your baby's head. Just saying. Anyways, back to it. So his mom tells him, "Yo, we're gonna go to you'll visit your father at work." Okay, that's cool. His father said, okay. He takes them, and he goes visit his father. And then his father said that we're all going to the Anthony's antique shop because they're looking for a new kitchen counter set. Okay? Kitchen counter table, or kitchen table. Anyways, so when they go into Anthony's antique shop, it's his moment, his chance. He decides to go back and, fix everything. He goes up there. And when it's 12 o'clock, noon time for the ding, he goes up to it, tries to fix it, fixes it. And he goes up to it, and then the movie, in the episode, it's a little bit different in that I believe that they almost get caught. He almost gets caught. Because there's the Anthony, or the guy who ran the store, says, "Stop that, baby!" But in the book, it's not like that. He ends up fixing turning the thing back to normal, the baby head or the bird head, fixing it, and then he accidentally falls and knocks out a date, and then presses on 1995 is what happens, so he can go back to his own time. What happens is he wakes up, a flashlight happens, and he's back at his 12th birthday party. His bike is not scratched. He's like, after all he's been through, he's actually excited to see his sister Tara, but he finds out that she's not there. Like, he looks for her and she's not there. He even asks his parents, and they're like, "Who's Tara?" And then basically the way it plays out, he doesn't get fall in his cake. The girl he has a crush on's best friend tells her that she has a crush on him and makes her blush. And then he says, "Yeah, well, I guess." And then he looks at the clock 3 days later, 3 days later, when the dad buys the clock, and realizes the date that he accidentally pressed out before that was Tara's birthday date. Birth date, the day she was born. So Tara has been erased from existence entirely. She no longer exists ever. And I remember reading that as a kid, and I'm like, she got what she deserved. And then he says to the people in the book, someday I might go back and fix it, for Tara. Fix what happened, but not right now. I think I'll enjoy being Tara-free for a little bit. And you know what? And it leads the people believing that, he's not going to go fix it. And I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't. I would have kept Tara being out of existence. You don't need, if that was the sister you got, I would basically keep her out of existence. Because you don't need a bitch like that as your sister. You don't. Sorry to tell you. If you're mean to a certain extent, but if you're mean just to be plain mean and think it's funny, it's not funny. Anyways, That's why I like this book, because it tells you being an ass and being a bitch, or being, if you want to call it being an ass or being a bitch, or whatever you want to call it, okay? In the end, you'll get your comeuppance. And in the end, Tara got her comeuppance. Because life said you no longer deserve to be, or in an accidental way, but I guess fate said, you know what? We made a mistake with you. We're not letting you we're going to erase you from existence now, okay? Basically. Anyways, guys, that's it for this video. I love this book. It's one of my favorite books. Like I said before, it's probably one of the first few books I ever read of Goosebumps. To this day, it's probably my favorite. It's not as scary as you think, but it has a very philosophical lesson in the book, and it means is sometimes if you only do bad things to people, sooner or later they're not going to want you around. And if the case was they had a bush in the press that could erase you from time, and they would do it, they probably would do it, and they might want to fix it, might not want to fix it. Like what happened to Michael and Tara. Anyways, guys, that's it for the video. I'll probably give this book, even though I don't know where it is right exactly, I give it a 10 out of 10, always, for nostalgic factor, as it being my first Goosebumps book. And it's not scary, as I would say. It's probably, I would say 7 out of 10. It's not scary, but it's also a pretty good book. Anyways, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.